Hello everyone, welcome to Vinoth Rathinam tutorials, and today we are going to learn how to use the Selenium WebDriver API commands in the button. And you can see the most used three methods which we use it in the button, whether it is the button is displayed or not, and the button is enabled or not, and to perform the click operation. It is similarly to the previous video how we handle the web edit. Handling button is very easier when compared to edit box. And a sample test case for today's session is in the registrations trying to check submit button is displayed or not, then enable status and finally click on it. For today's session we are going to use the Firefox browser. I have already explained in detail about the driver setup in video 3. You can just refer it. So for time being, I'm just glancing setup once. Navigate to Selenium HQ, click on download link, scroll down. In order to use the Mozilla, you have to download Mozilla Gecko driver. Click on the latest link. Then here you can see Firefox WebDriver based on the operating systems. I'm using Windows 64. Just you click on this, the file will be downloaded. Once the file is downloaded, it is always a good practice to save the driver file in a safer location so that no one will change the path. And this is how the file will look like. Extract the file. Finally, geckodriver.exe file will be available in this folder. You know very well we have downloaded the Firefox WebDriver. We have to build it to this project. For that, right click here, then go for build path. Click on configure build path. Right click build path, in that configure build path. Now you can see the library. In that select any class path, then click add external jars. Now we have to navigate to the respective folder. From there you have to select all the necessary file. Now I am selecting Chrome, Firefox, IE and Selenium standalone server. Just open it, apply and close. Here you can see the referred libraries. All the files which we have downloaded is mapped to this Java project. The next step is we have to check whether the Firefox driver is working or not. Create a new instance of the Firefox driver. You know what is the command for that? System.setProperty. We have to give the key and the value. Key is webdriver.gecko.driver. What is the value? Here we have to give the path of the Firefox driver. In case if you don't remember this particular word, when you run it will throw the error. In the error you can see this particular keyword. You can copy and paste it here. The next step is we have to create the driver object in the WebDriver interface for the Firefox driver. WebDriver equal to driver object new Firefox driver. You can see the warning messages or error messages. Import the WebDriver, then import the Firefox driver. The necessary files are imported. Now we will check whether this is working or not. Click on run. Execution is started. No need to worry about these error messages. So Firefox browser is launched. We didn't give any URL, that's why it's an empty. As per our requirement, we have to navigate demoqa.com to the registration screen. In that we have to validate whether the submit button is displayed enabled. If it is enabled, we have to click on this. When you click, since the values are not filled, you will get the mandatory error message. But before starting the coding, how you can confirm whether the submit is a button or it's a image or it's a link? How to differentiate between these three classes? Right click on this, inspect the element. You can see the value as submit. The same example, just to differentiate, here you can see the sign in. Whether this is a button or not, we will inspect and check. You can see it's a image. The value is login, but here the value is submit. Whenever the value attribute having submit, it is a button. You must remember this. and while doing this itself we will take value for the name locator. The value is pi submit. Copy it, paste it. Mandatory step: driver dot manage dot windows dot maximize. Open the website string app URL declaring into a variable semicolon. Then how to launch the particular URL: driver dot get, mention the URL. Now this step will launch the particular URL. Since we are going to do multiple operation on the particular web button, what I am going to do is web element an object name submit button equal to driver dot find element by dot name, and you know what is the value, pi submit, then semicolon. From now you no need to mention this again and again, rather than you can mention this particular variable name submit button. As per the requirement, first step whether the submit button is displayed or not. Copy. If submit button is displayed, if this condition is passed, then the output message will be displayed as submit button is displayed. Else condition, submit button is not displayed. The next step is whether the submit button is enabled or not. Same like previous step. If submit button dot is enabled, it will display submit button is enabled. Then as per the requirement, if button is enabled, we have to click on it. Submit button dot, either you can use click or submit button dot, you can use any value. I will run for dot submit, and we should not forget the else condition. Submit button is not enabled. We will run and see how it is working. It is navigating to the registration screen, then it is verifying whether it is enabled or not, it is displayed or not, then it clicked on the button. That's why we got this error message. You can see the output message, it is displayed and enabled. We will run for dot click also. It is navigated to the required page and clicked on the submit button. Let me summarize. We have created the WebDriver for the Firefox, then launched the application, just parameterized to single variable to use this piece of code again and again. Then we verified whether the submit button is displayed or not. Then if it is enabled, click on the submit button. We can use dot submit method or dot click method. That's the end of today's session. In case of any clarification, please post your queries in the comments or mail me, and don't forget to subscribe to get the notification for new videos uploads. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.